What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we are playing The Binding of Isaac over on my personal save, but I am here to talk about something that is the magical world of impression farmers. I know, right when I say that, you might be like, what do you mean? Why are you talking about impression farmers, FireMonkey? If you really think about it, they've existed for a long time. Your video isn't like, breaking news, crazy new phenomenon on social media. People farm impressions. They need their juicy Twitter interactions, and yeah, well, that is a common thing. It's gotten a lot worse recently because but Elon Musk made a very interesting change to the platform, which is both a good and bad change. So it's good in a few ways. Firstly, let's talk about it. This change was called the ad revenue program, and as it kind of, makes sense, it was a program that was designed for people to actually earn, ad revenue from their tweets and stuff. So basically in the replies when ads are placed and everything, you would earn some of the money that was kind of for that tweet just given to you, right? It would just be like, if you're like a popular creator or something, you've been creating on Twitter for a while, and you've just been tweeting, now your tweets are actually worth something. Instead of just being you tweeting to tweet stuff and bring the news or whatever because you want to, it is now like, hey, this is more of a job because you're actually getting paid by Twitter for your tweets and for the interactions and stuff on those tweets. However, because of this program, well, yes, it has been a good program that's allowed people like me to actually start earning money from Twitter, which is like one of their main places where we gain a following on. It has also caused a rise, and I mean a massive rise of impression farmers. And I mean, there will be people on Twitter who I'll interact with sometimes, right? And in the past, I've been chill with them or whatever, but because of this change where they're able to earn money and stuff, you can tell that they are in it for the money right now, and they need that juicy revenue, because they will sit there and they will post upon tweet upon tweet upon tweet upon tweet, and like, nothing against them, chase that bag, but at the same time, oh my god, does it get annoying when someone who previously you were chill with out of nowhere is tweeting every single hour about the littlest thing or whatever, even if it's related to in the history of Fortnite or blah blah blah, and it's like, no, I'm not dissing anyone in particular or anything. Obviously, if you're in the Fortnite community, you probably know what kind of sparked this discussion, but it's not even just the Fortnite community that I've noticed this with, right? It's with literally everything on Twitter. Now that people can see Twitter as a way to make money, there's been a lot more people just making the most of, like, obnoxious tweets. And, I'm not going to get mad at them for, making their tweets because, at the end of the day, hey, get your money. But, man, I had to mute some people on Twitter just because, I don't want to personally see all the spam, and it does get tiring when specifically why they're doing it, is just because they want the extra revenue and stuff, it's like, okay, so impression farming goes brr, but at the same time, you might be like, FireMonkey, you're in the ad revenue program, you've been paid by Twitter before, wouldn't you want to earn more money? Wouldn't you want to actually get paid more by the company that, you're making tweets all the time for? And while, yes, I do think it is nice to actually have revenue, I don't really do the whole Twitter stuff because I want $1 million or anything like that, right? When it comes to Twitter for me personally, my whole entire reason for the tweets I do is because I'm a news channel in a way, so when it comes to Fortnite stuff, I have to broadcast that out there for the world to see. But at the same time, I'm also sitting there and I come from the aspect of I do this as a hobby that I do it for fun, right? And when the whole entire Twitter payout came out recently, I first got paid, there were some people who didn't agree with the amount that they got paid from the whole entire Twitter payout system. But me personally, when I realized how much I got paid, I was just like, oh, that's cool. It's like this was money I never expected to get anyways, because I've just been tweeting on Twitter for years. And I think that what happened here is some people realized, oh, hey, they are able to make some money from Twitter that they weren't able to get before, but if they want to make the most amount of money possible, they have to, be spamming all these tweets and make sure that they have, all these interaction baity tweets and stuff out there, to the point where it's caused a weird culture to form on Twitter, specifically around, hey, how can I get the most impressions, right? And it's just a weird thing that, has been annoying some people. I get it and everything else, and, it's like, I get it from both sides. I get it from the people who are actually spamming their tweets because they want the extra money that they might not have been able to get otherwise, and I get it from the point of the normal consumer because it's like, hey, this person who I liked before or something, or maybe didn't like them, whatever, now they've become a little bit more on the obnoxious side of things by spamming tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet, and it just becomes a whole entire chaotic mess of disgruntled people over on Twitter, people trying to make the most impression farmy tweet possible so that they can get the most money or whatever, and just a lot of arguing. But then again, it's Twitter, so arguing is always something that takes place, but I find it very interesting to see how the culture on Twitter has shifted because of all this stuff, right? because of this whole entire change of being able to make money on the platform through, your tweets and everything, it's interesting to see how some accounts, you can tell, have really started posting a lot more just because they want that Twitter payout. And it's like, it's just an interesting thing to just watch happen in reality, right? And it's something that I personally don't see myself ever, devolving my content really that far into, because while the money is there and while it is kind of, a nice thing to have, I've always done everything, on this YouTube channel, and actually all my YouTube channels and Twitter accounts and everything else, as a way for me to kind of just exist and have fun. Sure, there's some, brand sponsorships and stuff I do here and there for extra ad revenue or money or whatever else to help me out, because those are, unique opportunities I normally wouldn't have, but there's no way that I would actually go about deciding to make a million more tweets than I already do, because, I mean, look, I'm a chronic Twitter user as it is. I already spam everything on my mind, or at least not recently, because I've been taking a break from my personal Twitter, but typically, I'm a chronic Twitter spammer. I'm known to be spamming up everyone's feed, and that was before we got the change where you're able to earn money from your tweets and everything. So it's like, I understand why some people are doing it, but, at the same time, I'm sitting here like, man, whew, some people are just like, starting to make it a little bit annoying when you see their tweets pop up, because why it's going on that specific way. That they're tweeting the things they're tweeting because they want the extra ad revenue or whatever else. And it does get frustrating, especially like when you see like, oh, the 50th tweet where it's like, this wasn't really needed for someone who's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a mixed, it's like a double-edged sword, right? I don't hate the people who are making the tweets or whatever, trying to get their ad revenue, but I do hate the tweets themselves, because I just sit there and I'm like, I don't care for this on my timeline, and I feel like that's a common thing going on, right? People don't hate the people making the tweets, they just hate seeing tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet on their timeline, and some people get a poor taste in their mouths in knowing that, these specific people are making their tweets because it's extra ad revenue. It's a way for them to earn extra money and stuff, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I do think it's interesting just that we have this whole entire new shift in the culture there of people making the tweets they're making because they want that sweet cash. Now, with that said, am I telling you to go over on Twitter and harass anyone who's actually out there making their funny little tweets or whatnot? No. Am I saying that, I don't understand why they're making their tweets as much as they are? No, because, I do understand it. I get both sides of the whole entire argument, but what I am saying is I think it's interesting just seeing the whole entire shift of the community, not even just in the Fortnite zone, but on Twitter as a whole, where, all these super big accounts out of nowhere start getting a lot more, interaction friendly, where like, hey guys, so the other day I walked outside and saw 13 flowers, and it made me wonder, as you guys are fans of my cat posting Twitter account where we post tons of images of kitty cats on Twitter, what do you guys think about flowers? What is your favorite flower and why? Have you ever smelt that flower out in public, or have you only just liked how it looked? It's like you just see a lot more of those interaction tweets out of nowhere where, trying to get the community involved in everything, and I think, if anything, it's just made me worried for my tweets about it, because, occasionally I do like getting the community involved, being like, hey guys, what do you think about blah blah blah, but now it's like, oh, he's making this tweet because he wants money, right? If anything, it makes me worry that people are thinking I'm doing my tweets or whatever for extra ad revenue, when that's not the case. Sometimes, I just want to make an extra tweet just to get a conversation going while, something like Fortnite is in a very downwards period where no one's really playing it or doing much with it at any given time. But of course, welcome to the FireMonkey channel, where we make nonsensical rambles that might end up getting me in Twitter beef later down the line, just because people don't understand, sometimes when it's like, hey, I'm just making a video because it's an interesting topic to talk about, and not, hey, I hate everything you do, stop doing it right now. So I would like to reiterate here, right? If you're someone who, is in the ad revenue program or whatever on Twitter, and you make more tweets than normal about whatever nonsensical thing you want to tweet about, I don't hate you. I have nothing against you. I just think that the tweets themselves, get annoying from any account when out of nowhere you just start seeing a spam upon spam upon spam upon spam for every single tweet. But of course, everyone has their own little opinions on what they think about that culture shift. And I think for me, it's just something that, I'm like, I have to be more like muting with accounts and everything else just because I can't handle all that spam. It's nothing that I want to like actually see on my timeline when I'm just trying to scroll and see, what is going on in the world, instead of here's what happened 4 years ago in a video game or something, right? It's like, that's cool. I'm glad you enjoy the past of a video game, but at the same time, I don't need a history lesson every 3 seconds whenever I go to my Twitter feed. So with that said, once again, no dissing to anyone, or, if you want to have problems with it, go ahead, have problems with it. I got no problems with anything at the end of the day, and, as I watch everything evolve on Twitter, I think it's just an interesting time, right, to be a part of that whole entire, like, zone or whatever, seeing how the whole entire community over there changes, and seeing what Elon does next to that horrid platform, right? Will he make another good change? Will he make another bad change? Most likely a bad change. Wait and find out on the next episode of Elon Musk Twitter, or whatever. I don't even know. With that said, I'll catch you champs and champettes next time with another video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and if you want to catch more Binding of Isaac gameplays, check out my FireMonkey Plus channel, where we kind of do like Let's Play style videos, you know, just long form content, where we just kind of play games unedited and just talk about stuff for a long time. It's a nice little thing to put in the background, and I made a video on Power Washing Simulator one time, and it got like 4,000 views, so hey, maybe I'll do a whole entire Power Washing Simulator like Let's Play over on that channel. But until next time, I'll catch you champs and champettes later, and peace out.